This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome to Camp Myth. Chapter 2, October 2nd, 2013. Welcome back, campers. Are you ready for Chapter 2? Last week, you met Felix, the protagonist of our story. Felix is obsessed with the human world, and he offered to tell you this story in exchange for learning more about human history. Did you take him up on it? Let's see what Felix has to tell us this week. Now listen close, campers. Where were we? Ah, yes.
Camp Myth, Phoenix Watching, by Chris Lewis Carter. Chapter 2. The rock quarry is really just a clever name for a massive pit about half a mile long, surrounded on all sides by cliffs of solid granite. It was actually humans who created it, though. They blasted through the stone in order to mine it, ship it off, and turn it into objects they found more useful, like decorative coasters. Still, the dusty grey bowl of earth they left behind made for a perfect camp bus stop. The quarry was already buzzing with activity by the time I blinked onto the scene. For future reference, blinking is the nickname we have for leaving the grove. Think of it like being able to teleport, except someone else gets to decide where you end up. It's a long story, but I'll tell you more about it later. All around the pit, kids were laughing and crying and shouting, hugging family members, lugging backpacks and suitcases, and being hustled into different lines, one for each mythic race in attendance. Did I forget to mention that? Sorry, my mistake. I keep forgetting that you humans are all so similar. There are dozens of races that make up the mythic community. We have creatures with tails, gills, feathers, and everything in between. Because of that, some races need special considerations taken for them to reach the camp. It's not a big deal for most of us, but I wouldn't want to be caught inside the Mer bus once they seal it tight and fill the entire thing with water. I stood in the main queue with my suitcase and slowly made my way to the front, all the while watching other kids saying their goodbyes and receiving last-minute instructions from parents. "Remember to drink plenty of water," a dryad woman said to her impatient daughter. "Yes, Mom. And be sure to use fertilizer every night before bed." "I'll be fine, Mom." Beside them, a family of minotaurs were just as deep in conversation. "Are you sure you've packed everything?" the father said to his son, who nervously scuffed the ground with his hooves. "Yeah, I think so. Rubik's Cube, Lego blocks." "What about your book of mazes?" the mother interrupted, then licked her finger and used it to wipe a few spots of dirt from her son's horns. "You know how much trouble you have sleeping without solving a few mazes." "It's packed," he replied. "I double-checked. It's next to my Jenga tower." Further up the line, a group of leprechauns were trying to keep one of their own from having a total meltdown. 97, 98, 99, I told you, I'm missing one, the young boy wailed, then hurled himself to the ground and pounded his fists against the dirt. "Someone must have stolen it!" Another leprechaun, his sister maybe, reached inside her backpack and pulled out a glimmering gold coin. There, don't be upset, Finnegan. It probably fell out of your pack before we left the burrow. You can have one of mine while you're away. Just be sure to take extra good care of it." He scrabbled to his feet and snatched the coin from her hands. 100, he shouted. "Now they're all here. Oh, thank you. The camp employees had set up a row of kiosks at the front of the line. When it was finally my turn, I approached the closest free booth and handed my registration form to the counsellor. He must have caught me glancing at his legs, because he slid his sunglasses down the bridge of his nose and grinned. "Well, I'm just as surprised as you are," he said. "It's funny because I woke up this morning feeling a bit hoarse." We don't get many jokes in the Grove, so it was great to meet a mythic creature with a sense of humour. I felt reasonably sure he was making what's known as a pun, because from the waist up he looked like a regular human, but below the hem of his Camp Myth t-shirt was the body of a muscular stallion, covered in a coat of shiny brown hair. The centaur looked over my form, then said, "All righty, let's get you fixed up. Name, please." "Felix, sir," I said. "Any allergies, Felix?" "Nope." "Special dietary requests?" "Nope." "Are you carrying any illegal materials such as, but not limited to," he took a deep breath, "phoenix feathers, kraken ink, chimera venom, basilisk eyes, unicorn horns, dragon teeth, gorgon hair, banshee music, gin lamps, gargoyle statues, yeti claws, golem scrolls, or anything else deemed unsafe by the Mythic Safety Council?" "I don't think so." He laughed. "Sorry, I had to ask. It's policy." He scribbled a few notes on my form, then handed it back to me. "Okay, all set. Baggage drop-off is just behind this station. As a first-year Fae, you're scheduled to ride on bus number 26. It's about a quarter of a mile down, right after the Harpies. If you happen to see sirens, you've gone too far."
This week's Camper Spotlight is Zara, the solitary shifter. Felix says, Kasune tend to be loners by nature, but Zara takes having personal space to the next level. I managed to stumble upon her hideout in the Forgotten Forest, and it's actually nicer than a lot of the cabins. The best part, though, is her rock feather hammock. Wish I'd thought of doing that. Zara was invented by Magenta Wolf. You can find the picture of her on the Camp Myth webpage. Cast of Wonders could use your help. We love bringing you free stories week after week, but we can't do it without you. Please consider donating at castofwonders.org, where you'll find buttons for regular and one-time donations via PayPal, or help spread the word about Camp Myth and our weekly stories by blogging or tweeting about us, or write us a review on iTunes and like our Facebook page. There's lots of ways you can show your love for our tales of the fantastic. Camp Myth Phoenix Watching is a Cast of Wonders production brought to you by Wolfsbane Publishing and features the voice acting of Kate Baker, Adam Black, Tina Connolly, Graham Dunlop, Christiniana Ellis, Marguerite Kenner, Alethea Contis, Alistair Stewart, Ian Stewart, and Barry J. Northern. You can learn more about the world of Camp Myth at our website, castofwonders.org. Our weekly episodes are released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license. Share it, but please don't change it or sell it. The Camp Myth theme music, August, is by Cast of Wonders' favorite musician, Alexei Nov, from musicalley.com. Thanks for listening.